Hey y'all, welcome back to Andy's Little Homestead. Today, we're building a dog-proof fence at the off-grid chicken camper. My wife has this terrible habit where she collects big, dumb, stupid dogs who are somehow genetically related to Christopher Columbus. They just got to go exploring and we can't let that happen. So we're in the process of building a fence that can contain the most adventurous of canines. In addition to all that, we're going to talk about different post types, ways to save money, ways to bulletproof this fence so you don't have to worry about it. As you can see, I already got 3/4 of the fence posts in. Setting posts isn't exciting, so let me just wrap it up for you real quick. There we go. So I left a couple holes empty here. That'll make sense in a second. But everything that I'm doing down the line is old cedar posts. Some of my longtime followers might recognize these. This was the first fence that I built over at the old property. And after 3 years in the ground, they still look almost new. But the corners are gonna be under a lot of tension, and for that, I used something different. These are old creosote telephone poles. I got a whole pile of them back there that I got at auction for 20 bucks. Yeah, $20. Creosote is a treatment that these are put under, and they don't use it anymore because it causes, well, every kind of cancer. But as every good farmer knows, the more likely something is to cause cancer, the better it's gonna work. They stopped using creosote sometime in the 80s. They're still here. There's no rot on them. Even the spalling on here is just a result of ice. 40 years in northern Michigan, I think we can get probably 25, 30 more out of them. My initial estimates were a little bit short. We got a few more to go cut. What are you doing out? What are you doing out? Oh, you're caught. I gotcha. Dang it. Some dumbass must have screwed up this fence when he built it. I cannot stress this enough. Don't let the sawdust get on your skin. And if it does hypothetically get on your skin, wash your hands before you go pee. It could be unpleasant. So there's a couple things that I want to mention that y'all missed because I didn't record yesterday. When I started this out, I started by just setting the corner posts. I ran my string line here down low and then marked on the ground so that all my holes were perfectly straight. And then when it came time to set the posts, I moved the string line up and I bring them to where they're just barely off of it, not quite touching. My wire is gonna go on the outside, so I ran the string line on the outside because you have varying post thicknesses. And a fence is never gonna be perfect, but if you line it up nice with the string line, it'll at least look that way. As far as spacing goes, with woven wire fencing, you can go all the way up to 12 feet apart. And you can go even farther than that with high tensile. I went about 8 on these, and I had to fudge it a little bit because my distance was not divisible by 8. Divisible. The one spot where it was really important that I got it right was between these two posts right here, because that's where the gate's going. So we made sure that inside to inside on that was exactly 8 feet. Everything else, we can just fudge it. So now we got to build the corners, and those corners have to be strong because we've got to stretch this fencing wire nice and tight so the dogs can't get over, stretch it down, all that fun stuff. So let's get started on that. So we're reusing a couple of the old corner pieces, and what I did with that was basically run a hole saw down and chip out the outside. So now we got to take a hole saw. We're going to do the same thing but chip out the inside between the corner and the next post over. Creosote really likes to gum up the hole saw, so that's fun. So I'm not known for measuring twice. That hole's got to go down here. And there we go. We got all 4 corners done. The next thing that we have to do is we need to basically take a wire and we're gonna tension from the top corner to the bottom corner. We'll go ahead and get it in place and then I'll explain how it works. And there we go. Now our corner, or at least this section going this way, is fully braced. But why are we doing it like this? Could we not just run a piece of wood up that way? That's a wonderful question, fair citizen of the internet. I do have one good reason. If I run a board going down that way, I'm giving my idiot dogs a foothold. When I do it this way, I'm able to adjust it as, you know, things shift and posts settle out, so I can always keep it tight. Was there another reason? I can't remember. And it doesn't give them a chance to grab one of their stupid little paws on it. All right, so we got all 4 corners done. Everything's nice and tight. Now we're ready to stretch some wire. But we can't do that just yet because I gotta make a thing. So Smart Man would have made sure that their bolts were long enough. I didn't. We can fix that. So this little guy right here might not make a whole heck of a lot of sense right now, but just give us a minute. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna staple up the corner and we're gonna run the wire out that way. Whichever side is opposite of where you're pulling, you want to staple the crap out of it because it's going to be under a lot of tension. There we go. We got everything hooked up to the tractor. We're just going to drive backwards until it's tight because somebody, can't say who, I have no idea where my come along is. What could possibly go wrong? That's pretty tight. So now with it under a ridiculous amount of tension, this is the time to staple it off. So we're gonna staple the end and then basically we're gonna follow the ground contour as we get our height for the rest of it. It's not gonna be perfectly straight and that's fine. Neither is my mustache, so who cares? But basically, we get it secured with it nice and tight like this, it'll stay nice and tight. Modern farming is full of all kinds of different technology, and here's one that I'm going to show you right now. My friend Josh here, in his infinite wisdom, knowing that we needed to stretch this fence downward to hit the ground, procured a stick, and he's just stepping on it. And that's how we get it down. I'm not trying to brag about the level that we're at here, folks, but well, being internet famous has been good to me. Just a little tension on there. All right, so we did end up with one small problem here. Putting all that tension on the fence ended up twisting this pole in here, so it doesn't quite line up with the rest of them. That's okay though. I got a half-baked plan to make it straight again. We're gonna chain a 2x4 to the top of here and use that as a giant fulcrum. That's a fancy word. To twist it around, and then we're gonna send a GRK straight through and see if that holds. It might work. Something might break and hit us in the face. I don't know. It's an adventure. Buckle up, kids. Huh. Dang it, because that's rigged as a choker around it, so I mean, that ain't getting no tighter. We're just gonna send it home now, because I think this is about as good as we're getting, and we can worry about it later. Well, I don't know if that helped at all. Well, that didn't like work, but that's fine. It's holding, and it's only gonna get more secure as the dirt and the holes washes in and tightens up. I'm pretty happy with it. And y'all, I really hope to have the entire fence finished today for this video, but unfortunately my camera battery's low and I ran out of staples, and I think it's supposed to rain later, and I'm tired and I don't feel like it, so this is what we got. But y'all, this is about as tight as I've ever seen a fence. I mean, I don't even have any staples through the middle section. We just did top and bottom because that's what I had to work with. She ain't going nowhere, and I'm pretty confident it'll do a good job keeping the dogs in. I don't know if I'm gonna do a part 2 or if I'm just gonna get it done, because the more I talk to myself, the longer this kind of thing takes. But anyway, I'm glad y'all came along. As always, I hope y'all enjoyed and I hope you learned something. I love you. God bless. Andy, you never finish anything. Shut up. You come do it. Please. I really hate fencing.